Okay, Maria, here is your Moldavite Herkimer pendant that Miss Sandra made. Miss Sandra's on the camera right now.
Hi.
So what we do is, so this is the Moldavite side of the laboratory. You know, we do a lot of analysis on different gemstones, but we do, this side is dedicated to Moldavite. And what we do is, in every time a piece of Moldavite comes in, we take it through the laboratory here, and you can see here's some of Sandra's Moldavites. She has trays and trays of Moldavites. I don't know if you want to show her these things, but what we do is we take it through this analysis.
I have an addiction.
Yeah, Sandra has an addiction. It's a very expensive addiction.
You bet.
And we fill out this form, and now I just actually entered your name on this form because I'm going to do a video for you. But the first thing we do is we look at the shape and the color and the texture, and that's what everybody should be doing. And
because the fake ones just doesn't look the same.
Yeah, the fake ones truly don't look the same. So I have some fake ones over here, but you know, we actually compare them to different shapes and textures of Moldavite, and we have a lot of different textures. Where's my big one, babe? I have one of my favorite Moldavites.
It's in my room. I took it.
Yeah. So we can compare it to other Moldavites that we've already tested. But Miss Sandra gets all her Moldavite from the same supplier in the Czech Republic. So after we look at color and shape, and I take some measurements, I record them on our lab analysis. The next thing we do is we do specific gravity. Now I can't show you that on this because it's wrapped in silver, but this is a specialized balance, analytical balance, that allows us to measure both the weight and the volume of the Moldavite.
That's gold.
Oh.
He's colorblind, literally. Okay, moving on.
I do know that it's gold, babe.
Okay.
But thank you.
You're welcome.
But what we do is we look at the density. So if you think about it, if you have a balloon this size and a piece of lead this size, the lead is denser than the balloon. And Moldavite from the particular area that Sandra gets it from is very consistent in density, and it's 2.326. That's the specific gravity of this, and the range is 2.27 to 2.46. But we found, so I've measured the density of all the fakes that we have picked up over the years out there, and the density of those fakes is much different than the density of real Moldavite. So this is a great way of testing it. Okay. All of this, Sandra really doesn't care about.
This is the fun part.
What she cares about is putting it underneath the microscope. And so we have a microscope here that I can look at and analyze with the binoculars there.
Binoculars.
Okay.
See?
It's called a binocular
so
microscope. Okay, so let me focus in here a second. So this is, and you might hear our puppy dog in the lab here.
Yeah.
So this is the gold, not silver, but the gold wire wrapping, and here's the surface of Moldavite, and this is under pretty low magnification. And what's interesting, we can zoom in and look at the surface a little bit.
You gotta put that stuff on there, right?
Oh, hold on just a second.
Ooh.
Yeah, I know, I see that.
Take a picture.
Okay. Yes, babe, I got you a picture. Let's see.
If you want this picture, just yell and we'll send you a JPEG.
Okay, so there's a picture. So what I'm doing is I'm actually snapping a picture and recording that particular photo. So this is interesting. This is neat to see the surface of the Moldavite. And here are our watercolor in the background. But what you want to do is you want to polish the surface so you can see inside of it. No.
That would ruin it.
Miss Sandra would never let me polish the surface. But what we do is we put this fluid on top of it. This fluid has what's called a refractive index that matches the refractive index of Moldavite. And yes, Miss Sandra will clean up your pendant before we ship it out. But as you watch the surface there, you can see.
Ooh, look at the bubble.
What it does. Hold on, babe.
Do you think that is it?
What it does is it wipes out that texture so we can see deep inside.
Let me get a better angle here.
So this is some bubbles inside of the Moldavite. But let's see if we can find some. We can go down deeper. So that bubble just disappeared right there, and it's because what I'm doing is I'm focusing the microscope deeper into the Moldavite. Let me change the color here. And so what we look for is we look for the different types of stresses in the Moldavite. I'm going to move this just a little bit down this way, turn the light up. And we go throughout the Moldavite and we look for bubbles and
Leather or whatever.
yeah.
Squiggles.
I'll show you real quick. So we did color, texture, fluorescence. I didn't show you density. Again, this was done on the raw piece. And then we look for bubbles and flow lines. These flow lines are really internal stresses. So when that meteorite impacted in Germany and hit this sand silica-like material, it flew up into the air, and as it was in the air, it was cooling, and as it cools, it locks in, freezes in some gas bubbles, but it also freezes in stress, and so you can see the stress as you.
Oh, there's a lot of lines on hers.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Yes. Sandra loves looking at these pictures. She would do this all day. Okay, but this is the stress areas that I'm talking about as I get down in deeper. I'm going to move this around a little bit and see if I can go get focused in a little deeper into the moldavite and focus it up. Sorry about the length of the video. I'm always
Oh, you're only at 6 minutes, man. Sometimes they're 20.
Yeah, it's like a Netflix show for me. Okay, I'm just going to move around here a little bit.
Netflix for nerds.
It is much more difficult to do this. Thank you, babe.
I'm sorry, I'm shaking the camera when I laugh.
It's much more difficult to do this while it's in.
Yeah, I wish we could pause. You're going to have to cut some of that out. Wow.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stress inside of here. Hold on, sorry.
They just can't
slow
do
down.
that with the fake stuff, can they?
No, they can't. They can't fake all this stress inside here. It's pretty bright. So you can see the bright spots and dark spots, and that's
Thicknesses.
that's thicknesses and wrinkles inside of there. I wanted to find a different area. I'm gonna put my finger on this, move some of that fluid around.
Wait. Those lines, are those? No, those
No,
are just stress lines. Wow, look at that.
I know, a lot of stress. Let's just move around a little bit more.
That's a unique spot. Ooh,
Okay, so
up there to the top right.
forget the debris that's floating around. That I just put my finger on that solution, and so it's floating some of that debris around. But here you can see some of the bubbles inside of here and some of the stress lines inside of here. What I'm looking for, the stress often hides the squigglies right there. So look at that. See this right there? That is, forget the junk that's moving again. There's debris in that solution.
Yeah.
But right there is a squiggly. And what Miss Sander calls the squigglies or wigglies. That's actually what these
However you pronounce that, electrolytes.
they're actually contaminants. They're in there, and they look like little worms in there. Let's move around.
Additional elements.
Additional elements. Okay, babe. Excuse me.
It looks like there's a bunch of them.
They're all over the place in here.
This is really rare. This is really cool.
Oh, they're always in here. So we see some over in here.
But I mean, to find them so quickly and have so many. Look at that.
Here's one over here. Look at that.
Oh, neat.
So sometimes they look like.
What about this long line right here?
That's actually not. That's actually a crease in the material.
Okay.
Okay.
But that one was.
Let's look up. I'm gonna move it. Sorry.
Oh.
Sorry, babe.
I was watching that channel.
You were. Oops. I kind of run into the wire sometimes, and it's a little hard to move around in here. When I'm going to turn this light down a little bit, and I'm going to go zooming in, and you can see how cool some of the bubbles get in different shapes and forms. I'm going to go down really deep, and you can see
a very interesting piece.
So as you go down in, you can see that. So I'm almost focused on that bubble, and then I'm going to go to the other surface. So now I'm focused on the other surface.
That's almost the surface, right?
Yeah, it is. So now I go down deeper inside, and there that bubble shows up closer and closer. Now I'm going to the other surface.
Sorry, my hands.
This is the top surface now. So, so it's kind of cool to see these things inside.
All right. So real Moldavite.
Oh, of course, it's real Moldavite.
That's always so.
I know. And you want to see a picture of your. So here is, and Miss Sam's going to clean this up.
Don't drip on the page. You're going to send that with her, right?
I'll send the page with her. Sure. And then Miss Sander writes a card and tells you whereabouts she. I didn't take more pictures. I should have. Whereabouts she.
Oh, maybe you can print one out for her.
I'll put it back up here after the camera's going.
All right, well,
And take some pictures of it for her. And she's welcome to
spread
see.
the word. Rocks2Rings. Bye now.
Okay, babe.